Welcome back. And we're still looking at the economy. How do we make it better than what it is now? And we're shifting our gears to looking at the manufacturing industry. And it plays a vital role in the Nigerian economy and also is the lives of the people. But unfortunately, the industry has been faced with enormous challenges like power, funding, foreign exchange, and a host of others. But we have in the studio this morning two gentlemen who will be telling us some of those things that we can do to boost the manufacturing, Nigeria's manufacturing sector. We have Mr. Vasily Oye Barberopoulos. He is the chairman, Local Content Group, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Good to have you here. And of course, we have the former president, Devt Textile Workers, Comrade Oladele Onsu. Good to have you here too.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Oye, I don't know.
Which would you prefer?
How did
Any
Oye
of the
come
two.
to in your name?
I was born in Lagos.
Okay.
And Vasily in Greek means king. My parents gave me also Yoruba name Oye to join the Greek name as king.
Wow.
So you speak Yoruba?
Small, dear.
Good to have you here. We're looking at the manufacturing sector. You deal with the local content thing. What is our capacity right now?
Well, it depends what is the capacity, because
The manufacturing industry in Nigeria.
it's still at 4% of the GDP. It's very low. We are at a point, okay, manufacturing is suffering from very many things, but which we all know, like infrastructure, high interest rates and so on. But one of the very important things that the manufacturing industry is suffering from is very low demand of made in Nigeria products. In other words, a lot of times the demand is not, we're not supporting made in Nigeria products.
Okay.
Hold on, if I understand you well, yet though you have challenges with the infrastructure like power and all of that, the biggest challenge is the demand for made in Nigeria products.
If you have the demand and people buy your products, you're making some money, then you can, with all the challenges, you can still expand. But if the demand is not there and you have all those challenges, it makes things even worse.
So why is it that there's low demand for made in Nigerian products? What have you found out?
One of the reasons is because a lot of times we prefer to buy what is imported. Also, a lot of times what is imported is also much cheaper. But at the end of the day, we are in a situation where we need to support what is produced locally. I mean, let us look at what Donald Trump is trying to do.
Now, let me just stay with you a bit. You said we prefer to buy imported products, and sometimes they are cheaper. So why we've mentioned the issue of power and funding. Now, how do we address such challenges?
Well, if we would take the local content tax for the oil and gas, and we would make it for the entire country, and as a government, and as people, and as citizens, we start buying locally made products, it means that we're going to grow our industry. And when we grow our industry, we will reach better economies of scale, which means that eventually things will get much cheaper.
We'll come back to the issue of substandard products, because sometimes that's what the people will tell you. If you buy what is made then in Nigeria, some of them don't really last. Let me come to you. You are of the Devt Textile Workers. Do we still make textiles, durable and nice ones in Nigeria?
Let me start by saying that seeing is believing. I think what I'm wearing here is one of the products of the textile factory in Nigeria. I think I would love to leave that to the real manufacturers who are engaged in the act of producing some of these things. But if you look at, just like Mr. Oye have just said, Nigeria still has some of the best products that can compare favorably with international standard. Yeah, we still have it. Yeah, but there are some challenges arising from the cost of production, some inputs. Because to make your product competitive, you must look at other factors. Power, access to fund, roads, raw materials, and what have you. And at the end of the day, the end product, how are they competitive? So it is a known fact that most manufacturers have to cut costs in the area of their inputs. And if you don't have quality input, the output will not be of any value in terms of quality. So in order to stay afloat, of course, manufacturers sometimes reduce some of the quality of their inputs in terms of the raw materials so that they can remain afloat and still be competitive in the market. But to answer your question straight, yes, we still have Nigerian products that are still durable.
Okay, so that part of just trying to stay afloat, maybe it could account for why some of the products don't come out exactly the way they should.
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there are still other people who still do quality things in Nigeria. I've seen some shoes, some bags, you know, made here, and they could stand on any platform internationally.
You're right.
So how are those people making it that way while the others still, they are also floating, the people that are making the quality ones? Why is it that there's no, okay, there seems to be no standardization? Of course, we have the Standard Organization of Nigeria.
Yeah, you see, two things here. Those things you have mentioned, what are their contents? You understand? If you source your materials locally, of course, you don't need to go to any of these banks or wherever. You know, Nigeria is a country where you have multiple exchange rates. You don't even know which is which. You understand? If you have your local content of your materials, they are sourced locally. Definitely, the tendency of producing the quality goods or quality product is there. Unlike if you have to import at this ridiculous exchange rate. In terms of what people buy or what people tend to appreciate, it depends on, we have this flair for consuming imported products. Mm-hmm. It's about whatever is made in Nigeria is adjudged is presumably of inferior quality, which is very, very wrong. But when you look at what goes into, for instance, look at the textile products. There are so many inputs in terms of raw materials, like the dye stuff, which you don't get locally. Some there are chemicals you don't get locally, you have to import them. And if you import them at this present exchange rate, how are you going to break even? I think they consider some of these things. But aside that, I can still say it here that we still have some factories, some manufacturers who still make quality their watchword. You understand what I'm saying? And that is why, and let me tell you this, there are a lot of faking. And that's why you see when you say standardization, I don't know whether Standard Organization of Nigeria is still on duty. Most of majorly, the problem is faking. Now what they do is that because of our flair for imported products, they take some of these things out of the country, fake it using the label in Nigeria, they bring it back and begin to sell it. In fact, it has been confirmed that some of these products actually come from outside the country and they are of inferior or low quality.
And who took them out there? Nigerians?
I can't say.
Or investors? Or
not investors, because you see, I'm sorry, some of these Asians are just behind some of these things. And that's why we have these unfair international trade practices. You understand me? They take it out because they know Nigerian flair for imported material. They just take it out. Once you see the logo of these products there, they say, oh, it's made in so-so country. And actually, that thing is a Nigerian product taken outside. Haven't you heard of Nigerian, some of this, for instance, one of the largest textile industry in Nigeria, that is UNT PLC in Ikorodu. There was a time when they would take the product of UNT outside the border to the Republic of Benin, and they begin to put made in Cote d'Ivoire, and they actually produced in Nigeria. And they bring it back to sell it.
So just to satisfy those people who like,
imported
things.
material. So, and they sell it 2 times higher the price they should have bought it in Nigeria.
Of course, because they had to take it out.
No, it's not even because of taking it out. It's just in our mentality, in our idea that, oh, this is produced outside Nigeria, therefore it should be costlier and it should have high quality. And actually, they actually produce in Nigeria.
Okay, we'll take a moment. When we'll come back, we'll look at the multiple challenges, and then we'll do like a breakdown of how they affect the manufacturing sector altogether. Don't go away.